Welcome back to Black News Tonight. Many across the country are outraged by the Supreme Court's decision to uphold the new abortion ban in Texas. The state is prohibiting abortions once doctors can detect heartbeat of the fetus. That's usually around 6 weeks into a pregnancy, before many women even realize they're pregnant. The Supreme Court voted 5-4, denying an emergency appeal from those against the ban. But the court does expect challenges to the decision. Coming from the second largest state in the country, this ban will be stripping the rights of all, but especially so many Black and brown women. Joining me now to talk about the ramifications of this new law is Morgan Simon. She is the author of Real Impact, The New Economics of Social Change, and Mikki Kendall, the author of Hood Feminism. Thank you both for joining me. Mikki, I'm going to start with you. Can you break this ban down for us? What exactly does this mean, not just for Texas, but potentially for the country?
So obviously it puts Roe v. Wade in danger. I'm lucky enough to live in a state where our governor has already affirmed that women will retain their right to choose. It's very weird having a governor that's good in Illinois. Don't touch him, but we're keeping him. However, what it basically boils down to is that by the time you know you're pregnant, and for most women, that's between 6 and 8 weeks, okay? Some women, it's longer, it's 12 weeks, right? Because we're talking about a matter of, honestly, a single missed cycle. And many women don't necessarily notice, not everyone is regular. Or many people who give birth, let me fix my language. And currently now they're gonna have to challenge it, but we are already seeing other states move to join in and try to broaden this ban, because this is the first time the Supremes have SCOTUS has let a heartbeat bill stand, because the problem with the heartbeat bill, as you describe, is that by the time anyone knows that they're even pregnant, it's already too late for them to make a choice. It effectively removes the right to choose for anyone, including victims of rape, incest, those who may have a fatal genetic error, you name it. And this bill says that you don't get to make a decision about what happens to your body. On top of that, it adds in the possibility of a $10,000 bounty so people can report you and make money off, frankly, lying. It's like a witch hunt.
Morgan, this is a regressive policy. I mean, what's fueling it? Why now do we see something like this emerge?
This was really just a tremendous attempt to work around the Supreme Court, is what it comes down to. You know, there's been over 90 challenges to abortion rights this year. That's not anything particularly new. What's new here, Mark, is that workaround that Mikki was talking about, the idea that one citizen can sue another for $10,000 for aiding and abetting someone trying to get access to an abortion. Now, that is a crazy use of an economic incentive. You know, when we think about the fact that Texas minimum wage, it's $7.25 an hour, right? That's like $15,000 a year. You could go work full time for a year, or you could go out and sue 3 people, right? And try to get $30,000, double the minimum wage. It's a very bizarre way to implement a law, and really just designed to try to undermine Roe v. Wade. And it's a tactic that we expect people are going to try to replicate across the country, but hopefully not successfully, right? As we see that there really is an opportunity to try to disrupt this system.
This is terrifying to me. I mean, obviously the encroachment on women's rights is terrifying in and of itself. But the idea that we're incentivizing everyday private citizens to snitch effectively on anyone who's attempting to get an abortion, I mean, that's terrifying. I mean, we've seen fascist regimes. We've seen some of the worst moments in human history that were animated by citizen snitches, effectively, informant citizens. And it seems to me that that's what we're creating. Mikki, how do you make sense of something like that? How do you wrap your mind around something like that?
I'm going to tell you a theory. And my theory is that someone who is a domestic abuser, who has been financially abusing their significant other or their ex-significant other, has a lot to do with the architecture of this bill, because this bill effectively means that if you are in a relationship with someone and you impregnate them by stealthing or other means, you can then make it financially impossible for them to leave. You can sue them into submission, because among other things, prior to this point, Texas has undermined public housing, child care subsidies, food stamps, unemployment. Everywhere you've turned financially, the safety nets that allow someone in an abusive situation to leave have been undermined in Texas. My ex is in Texas, so I really know this firsthand. So when you look at this bill from that perspective, to me, and I could be wrong, but to me, this is really creating a way for people who otherwise could not force their significant other to stay with them, to have a way to punish them for leaving, to have a way to pick whatever fights that they want to pick with a neighbor. You don't come up with this if you care about the children who might be born into fundamentally unprepared households.
Wow. Mikki, of course, I read your New York Times bestselling book. It's a brilliant book. And one of the things that you've talked about there and elsewhere is your own experience with a late-term abortion. You say that in many ways your life was saved by having a late-term abortion. How do you feel that this legislation can impact those people who will no longer have access to that option?
I'm going to put it this way. I had a placental abruption at 19 weeks, and then I started hemorrhaging. There was never a question of saving that pregnancy. And I know that people think that somehow magically you can move a fetus around and do some magical things, but the reality is that it was absolutely not possible. Without the procedure that saved my life, my 2 kids wouldn't have had a mother, because I was bleeding. I had 2 transfusions that night. I had surgery, I had that procedure at midnight. A doctor who was not on call was called in by a nurse to come save me, right? Because the doctor who was on call apparently didn't do abortion procedures. We have made of abortion this very bizarre construct where we ignore that the person who is pregnant is a person. Somehow, suddenly, the uterus is the only thing we care about, and the contents of that uterus are only important before they're born. After they're born, we don't care if you can feed them, if you want them, if you can house them, if they need extra medical care. We don't care about any of those details. All we want to do is punish women for having sex, because people who have multiple children that they cannot afford often are incapable of making choices. Not just choices about their body, but choices about where they live, where they work, anything. They are utterly dependent, sometimes for decades. Or they die.
You know, we've talked about some of these unintended consequences. You talked about what could happen with people in violent or dangerous, unsafe relationships. We now have talked about some of the unintended, or at least under-examined. I don't want to say unintended, because some of these lawmakers very well know that this is the consequence. They just don't care. There are these health issues that come up. And then, Morgan, there's also a financial piece of this as well. And I know your firm has invested in BIPOC-led companies. Can you talk a little bit about the financial consequences of this decision on future generations?
Sure. I think it's really critical what Mikki was pointing out, that reproductive justice really is an economic justice issue at its heart. And when we talk about being pro-choice, the idea that someone should have control over their body and the decisions that they get to make, well, poverty cuts down a lot of choices, right? It lessens the list of choices that you get to make about how you're going to educate your children, your housing, your work, so many different elements that contribute to that. So if we really want to be pro-choice, we need to make sure to recognize the economic justice angles of what enables people to choose to have children or not have children if they desire. And then more specific to this abortion ban, there has been studies that women who were denied an abortion that they wanted 6 months later had greater levels of poverty, and that impact lasted as much as 4 years later. So given that we already start with such a massive interracial wealth gap, when we make it even harder for people to access reproductive justice services, then we really just continue to cement that wealth gap generation after generation.
Wow. This is an incredibly important story that we're going to continue to cover. It affects the entire country, but as always, Black women and girls are impacted disproportionately on anything that causes social misery. And they're at the bottom of any list that causes social prosperity. So we want to make sure that as we talk about this issue in general terms for women everywhere and childbearing people everywhere, we also want to make sure that we pay specific attention to how this impacts Black women and girls, and what kind of resources, what kind of options, what kind of resistance we can offer to this disturbing decision. I want to thank you both for joining me on Black News Tonight. We'll be sure to keep the conversation going. Everybody, we want to make sure that you join the conversation as well. We want to hear from you. Head over to our BNC Instagram and Twitter pages. Let us know how you feel. You can also visit the website, bnc.tv, subscribe to the YouTube page, and check out clips from the show.